This could be the day that Cape Town Spurs Football Club win the Nedbank Cup for the second time in their history and we can sort out our finances. Although it does say this is our first Nedbank Cup final, it's not true. That's just because this team is apparently established this year on its history on the game. But actually, that's not the case. As you can see here, we have won the Nedbank Cup before. But financially, £600,000 would really help us out, and then we'd get money from the league as well, and we'd qualify for the Confederation Cup. So this is a really important game against a team that beat us earlier on in the season 2-1, and if we look at their recent schedule, they're on mediocre form. They've had some decent games, but losing to Black Leopards and Cape Town City is a bit disappointing for their general run of form this season. As you can see, their strongest run of form was between December and March, where they were fantastic throughout. But let's hope that we can beat them in today's game. It's at a neutral venue. It's the first of two games against Stellenbosch in the next couple of games. And I really hope we can win this, because this could be huge financially, as you can see in the rules here. We'll get 250,000 regardless, but 600,000 would be so good for the finances. So, without further ado, let's head into the game. So, for today's game, which is comfortably the biggest game that we've had in this entire save, we've got a few injuries. So, Mosius Halaga and Narodian both miss out. And Rivas, he's coming back from an injury, so I'm not going to play him today, but he is at least ready for the rest of the season after this game. Meanwhile, Patty and Chalulele are both slightly injured, so that means Koopstad plays as the Mazzala today, with Jesse Don in the defensive midfield position. This is going to be a tough game. Stellenbosch are a very good team, and they're one of the only two teams actually above us in the league, along with Sundowns, who we beat last time. It's at a neutral venue, so neither team has home advantage at least. And Jesse Don's already injured. That's just what I needed to add to my current injury crisis. What do I do? I think I'll put Koopstad back into defensive midfield, and Sally can play as a advanced playmaker. Let's hope that we can still manage to win this game in spite of that injury. It's a shame because we've already got a bit of an injury crisis and we're rather short of players as it is, so that has not helped our cause. Mbatha, this looks like it could be given away as a penalty. No, Levenberg has been able to catch that pretty simply. And he sends it long. Matizwa's got a little bit isolated at times in the last few weeks, but he's also had some games where he's been fantastic, so hopefully he can be the latter today. Here's Ali Mansengi. Ooh, dangerous. Levenberg just about keeps it out. Mansengi actually is joining us at the end of the season. He's a promising left back from Tanzania, so hopefully he won't do too much against us today, but he'll do plenty for us in the future. Now Sumahoro whacks it long, gives it away. Disappointing. It's not what I'm looking for in my centre-backs, to be just whacking the ball clear every single time. I want us to be keeping the ball a bit better than this. This has been really not great so far. And now Skellum. We're not doing great pressing, and they've managed to find a way through there, but thankfully Thabatha has missed that chance, which probably he should have put away in the end. This hasn't been great so far. We're barely creating a thing. And Sumahoro's gonna... What has he done there? That's phenomenal defending from Ishmael, but Sumahoro, what are you doing? I remember, I think it was Ishmael earlier on in the season, whenever he got free kicks in that area, would just whack them straight to the opposition. There seems to be something wrong with our players in that particular position. They just don't know what to do. But it's going okay. It's still 0-0. I'd like to see more from us because in reality Stellenbosch should be in the lead. They've had the better chances so far. Well, at least all the boys are motivated, which is very good news. Let's hope that we can use that to our advantage. Masengi's a bit nervous. He seems to be the only player on their team that's struggling a little bit. Hopefully we can take advantage of his nervousness. And they've clipped the bar, I think. Gone out for a goal kick. We still haven't really seen a chance for us yet, which is rather disappointing. And it's going to be time to make some substitutions. Ooh, so Shalulale will probably come on for Koopstad. Unfortunately, everyone seems to be nervous, which is not what you want. I think Makuma will go up front. Fumbidzai. Or maybe I'll keep... No, Fumbidzai's doing a bit better. And so I'll put Mako at left back. Fumbidzai will go on the wing, and Makuma will go up front as the false 9. Let's encourage the boys, because they're all a little bit nervous, which is understandable at 0-0 at this point. In fact, pretty much everyone on the pitch is a bit nervous. But it looks like it's going to be going to extra time unless we can sneak a winner. Yep, so that is extra time. Let's see. I don't know if I'll be able to make any more subs. Who would I want to bring on, though? Perhaps Patty. Yeah, I can't make any more subs, which is not great. Got a lot of very tired players already, but at least so do they. So there's still a chance. We have got Ace Sally on. He's our second best penalty taker after Narodian, but obviously Narodian's been out for quite a while. And Mako almost scores. A good save from Ngabeni. That's really the first chance that we've had in quite a long time. Buchanan, and a simple save for Ngabeni in the end from Beloy's header. We're starting to dominate this added time. And Makuma scored! Brilliantly worked free kick. Really good control from Makuma. Justified him going up front instead of Matizwa. And we are in the lead. And this could be huge for the rest of the season and the rest of the series. Beloy and Sally. He's found Makamela on the right. He's got a lot of space here. It's a dangerous chance. Shalulale, Makamela into the box, and Fumbidzai has scored the second. And it looks like that is that. Well done, boys. We didn't start brilliantly. Most of the game was pretty poor, but actually in the entirety of the added time, we've absolutely dominated. We just had a little bit more in the tank. And that is fantastic. Our second bit of silverware in the entire save. Our first important bit of silverware, I'd say. The Nedbank Cup is nothing to be sniffed at in South Africa. And that is brilliant news. Wonderful performance in the end, particularly in the extra time. We were very good. We deserved this win thoroughly, and it's great to see us lifting a trophy again. There we go. Well done, boys. Let's congratulate them and enjoy these moments. We do face Stellenbosch again in the next game. Hopefully we can build on the result we've just had, and because we're at home, perhaps we can do even better. But that is brilliant news. So Jesse Donny is injured out for 4 weeks to 2 months. He is staying next season, I believe. Yes, he is. But that will be him out for the rest of this season. We've received £600,000, which is beautiful, beautiful news. There's more good news in that Tendo Makumela came third in the South African FA Cup Player of the Tournament. He was brilliant throughout, but he missed out to 2 players of Stellenbosch who had, frankly, ridiculous ratings. So we can't complain too much, but Makumela's been very good. Makuma also got 3rd place in the young South African FA Cup Player of the Tournament, which is very good, but unfortunately he's not going to be sticking around. He's going abroad, so we won't be able to enjoy him for much longer. Following that fantastic win in the Nedbank Cup Final against Stellenbosch, we actually played them one more time in the league, in the penultimate game of the season and our last home game of the season. Levenberg saved a penalty which should never have been a penalty, so justice was served in that sense. Mukamela scored a really good goal, and then Tariq Feelies, who actually missed the penalty in the first place, scored from a corner in the 92nd minute, which is very frustrating, but in reality it doesn't change all that much. It does mean we've dropped down a place, but given we've already got the Confederation Cup through the Nedbank Cup, it doesn't really matter. We can't drop any lower than we are at the moment, so we're guaranteed to qualify for that anyway. It's more just to do with getting a bit more money, because I believe there's a slight drop off. Yeah, not too much, but it would still be beneficial to us to get that 175k. But anyway, let's head into the game. In this final game of the season, I'm playing a bit of an unusual lineup. I'm basically playing everyone that is leaving. Levenberg's sticking around and Darren Johnson will be leaving, but I don't want to risk playing a worse goalkeeper, given that if I win this game and Cape Town United don't, then I will overtake them in the league again. So Stander's leaving, Rivas is leaving, Sibande's leaving, and Mako is leaving as well. Buchanan will be sticking around, as will Beloyi, but Patty, Makuma, Ishmael, and potentially Matizwa will also be leaving. Matizwa I might keep because he's actually got South African nationality as well as I think he's Zimbabwean. He's got citizenship, so he may stick around since he doesn't count towards the foreign player limits. Ace Sally will also be leaving. He's on the bench because he's a little tired. But Mkwango will get his final appearance of his career potentially today. I'd hope to be able to bring him on. So hopefully we can get quite a long way ahead, so that it doesn't matter if we bring on players who aren't quite at that level anymore, because Mkwango is probably a low-level second division player now that he's retiring. Anyway, Buchanan gets us off to a flyer here. That's very good news. Good cross from Makuma as well. And that's a really good start for this team, because I wasn't quite sure what to expect with players that have barely played this season but are also going to be leaving as well. As I said, I'm annoyed that we're losing Makuma. I'm a lot more attached to him than I was last year. And he's scored again. Oh, I'm so frustrated we've not got him. He's 4-star for us now, so it's really disappointing to see him going. Whether he'll be able to come in future after being in Brazil for a little bit, I don't know. But I imagine he might want a higher wage if he comes back having been to Brazil, because of all the sort of displacement of his life heading to a different culture. Anyway, we've started this game brilliantly. Let's see how Cape Town United are getting on, or we will when this chance is over. And Patty, oh, that's a cracking goal. And he's signing off with his first goal of the season, actually. He's not contributed to a whole lot of goals this season. I think it's only 1 goal and 1 assist now. But that's brilliant news. Let's see, Cape Town City are also winning, so it looks like we're going to get the lower prize money. Ooh, unlucky from Makuma. That was a really good attempt, just off the post. As you can see, yeah, we're 1 point behind Cape Town City, so that late goal against Stellenbosch has really cost us a fair bit of money. But I suppose we did cost Stellenbosch quite a lot of money by winning the cup against them. And I'd rather have it that way round than lose the cup. And Kabi sends it along, and it's now back to Poggenpal. Come to Stander pretty easily, although he's going very slowly. He's taking his time about it. I'm hoping that cup win does mean we get more fans in the stadium, actually. We last season only had about 400 people in the stadium at any time, and it's a stadium of over 40,000. This season we've had generally about 1,000 in per game, but I would like to see that start to climb, because actually, if you think about it, if we had 40,000 fans in the stadium, which is unlikely given it's the South African division, and I believe it was a World Cup stadium, which is why it's so big. If we had that many, we wouldn't have any financial issues at all, surely. And Nkabi's spilt it out for a corner. You can see why they're bottom of the league, given their defensive issues. Buchanan heads it over, probably should have done better there. If he'd got that on target, it probably would have been a goal. Yeah, Cape Town City are comfortably ahead 4-0 now against Golden Arrows, so looks like we are going to be second best today. But we are dominating this game, so at least our boys are signing out on a comprehensive win, provided nothing crazy happens in the next bit. It would be nice to get Kevin Rivas and Levenberg over to 7.0 at the least. I imagine Levenberg probably won't, because he won't need to make many saves, but we can always hope. Makuma ends up not getting the ball there. Poggenpool has managed to get to it first, and now Patty. They're quite well shaped here. But can we break through? Mako into Beloy and Patty now. Brilliant ball into Matizwa, and he's signed off his season on a win. I think I probably will give him a new contract, which I hadn't really thought of before, but looking at the squad registration, it makes sense to get him a new contract. And now it's time to get some of the other players on. So Mkwango could make his final career appearance. Narodjian I probably want to get on. No, actually, we'll get Sally on for his last game against this Chippy United team. And I think I'll get Darren Johnson on in goal, since he's not actually played at all this season. It'd be nice for him to sign off with a little bit of a performance. Sumahoro's also leaving at the end of the season, but I guess there's just no... Maybe if I actually get him in instead of Sally. Sabande, let's get Kevin Rivas off for Sumahoro and get Darren Johnson on for Levenberg. And it's now gone out for a corner, but we will not see that chance. This is a great way to sign off on the season, and it's nice to have Makuma signing off in such style, and Patty as well. I think he's quadrupled his goal contributions this season in this game alone. Probably be keeping him if he'd played like this all season. Anyway, so 4-0 victory, that was very good. Very happy with the result and the way they played, and most of these players will be leaving, so that's a little bit sad. Let's see, so we finished 4th. Yeah, Cape Town City got a 5-0 victory, so never likely we were going to overtake them in the end, although our goal difference was superior to them, which is great news. We've actually done really well on the goal difference this season, and given how we started the season, where we had lots of draws with we'd dominate the game and then we'd miss out just about because they scored from their one chance. You know, it's just one of those disappointing things that resulted in us not getting quite as high as we deserved to be, really. And as it happens, we are doing quite well now. We've done really well in the second half of the season. If you look at our results, early on there were quite a lot of draws and a loss every so often. I had a couple of losses here. This was a bad period in December and January, but I think that's when we were playing some difficult teams, Maritzburg United, Stellenbosch and Orlando Pirates. And since then, we've gone on a really good run. A couple of draws every so often. But we're unbeaten in, I think, 19 games now, which is fantastic. And we've qualified for the MTN8, which I'm not quite sure what it is. I think it's a better version of the South African FA Cup equivalent thing, and it looks like it's just the top teams. Let's have a look at so it's just 3 rounds actually, so it's a mini tournament in reality. Kaiser Chiefs, Orlando Pirates, Stellenbosch, Maritzburg United, yeah, so lots of the bigger teams are in this tournament. I don't know what we're likely to get from playing in this. So loser prize money is not very much. But if you win, it's a whole lot of money for a team of this level. So that will be a great opportunity to get some money next season. Fantastic performance from Patty in the last game, and a great way for him to sign off. And here we have confirmation. We've received 116k for achieving 4th place in the DSTV Premiership. And we've also qualified for the Total CAF Confederation Cup, which is effectively the Europa League of Africa. So not the best tournament, but not the worst. A very strong season in the end. I reckon if we had managed to get in the first half of the season, if we'd managed to get some of the results we got in the second half of the season, we could have potentially finished second. I don't think we would have overtaken Sundowns because they are just too good at this level. But a very good season for us, and our finances are looking so much better than this time last year. Our projection actually has us starting to repair things, which is brilliant news. I guess we're getting more fans into the stadiums as a result of winning that, and that will allow us in future to sign better players and not worry too much about their wages, because the wages of some of the top teams are ridiculous in comparison to ours. If you look at the players and not value, wage, 7,000 for Sadiku, and then lots of sort of 2 to 3k players, whereas if you look at our squad, our most expensive is 1,800, so we're really overperforming here. Here we have the season review. After a very successful season, I'm very happy with the performance we've had in our first season in the top division. And this is our transfer details page. Genuinely, the board are okay with most of the signings, I guess. I guess with our finances, they're never going to be particularly happy about us making signings. Let's see if they're happy with any of these sales. Not particularly happy with the sales, but a lot of those were taken out of our hands because a lot of the players had agreed to leave last season. Yeah, lots of season Ds. Thankfully, we've got Liam Byrne coming back in, so I'm excited for that one. Let's see how our season's results are. So we won the Nedbank Cup with an average home attendance of 1,375, which is a much bigger attendance than we got last season. Still a little bit disappointing, it's only 3%. And the same for our average home attendance in the DSTV Premiership. And we've qualified for the total Confederation Cup, which is brilliant news. And we were meant to finish somewhere between 7th and 10th. The different season previews tell you different things. But finishing 4th in our first season is far beyond what I expected. Of course, our best game of the season was that 5-2 win against Sundowns. That was phenomenal. We probably didn't deserve to win, but we were so clinical that day. It was brilliant. And our biggest win is a 4-0 win against TTM, which might even be... No, it's not the first game of the season. I do remember playing TTM first. It's the midway point of the season. We had a 4-0 victory over them when Mostelagor and Nerodian were both still fit. Let's have a look at the finances. Sponsorship is apparently down, but it's basically the same. Broadcast revenue is that's such a difference. You can see why our finances have started to improve. We were absolutely stuck last season with just 91.6k. Corporate hospitality, we've got a decent increase. Competition prize money, obviously the Nedbank Cup win has given us most of that competition prize money. And our matchday commercial and retail's improved a lot too. No new sponsorship deals this year, which is a bit of a shame. But Buchanan's our top shirt seller. That's slightly surprising. I would have thought it would be Nerodian or Mostelagor. Particularly Mostelagor, as I think he came through the youth system here and has been here for quite a long time. He's not that far from being my top scorer ever. He's only 17 goals or something, so probably 2 seasons away, judging by his performance here. And this is when he's been injured for quite a lot of the season, in spite of the almost 30 games that he's played. Sad to see Makuma go. He has been fantastic this season. Patty has some... Okay, apparently I was wrong with the number of assists he'd got. I think he must have got quite a few in the Cup rather than the League. There was certainly a point where he played about 15 games and had no contributions at all, and then he started to do some things. From mid-side from left-back, 6 goals and 6 assists is very impressive. Mukamela's got 8 assists and 1 goal. That's also very good. This is a pretty strong lineup. I'd probably only say Patty I'd switch for Shalulale in the end. But aside from that, I'd say that is the strongest 11 we've had this season. Accolades-wise, I didn't get a manager award, which is a bit harsh, but I guess Stellenbosch, their manager, managed to get them from 8th to 2nd, which is pretty impressive. Mukamela, the fans player of the season and the young player of the season. Peter Levenberg, the signing of the season. Koopstad with the goal of the season, which I do remember him scoring. I'm not quite sure why he's ginger in game, because as you can see here, he is definitely not ginger here. Matizwa was our top scorer, and Beloy got our most assists, with Levenberg getting the most player of the match, so clearly we relied on him in a few of the bigger games. But Mukamela did get the highest average rating. And in terms of our record breakers, nothing particularly exciting. Buchanan got our quickest goal, Nerodian got a hat-trick, and Levenberg got the most clean sheets by a player in the season, but that was just compared to Ronaldo Lena and Darren Johnson last season, who I actually switched between quite a lot, so they didn't play as many games. But this is the top division, so 14 clean sheets is not bad. And our highest transfer fee received is 28k, with more to come up front, more to come in instalments for Makize. One of those I just sold to get a bit of money into the finances. Is there anything for competition awards? No. Heading into history in the making, the final stage of this season review. 4-0 was our best win, apparently. We won the Nedbank Cup, and yeah, we started decently. I wouldn't say we started superbly, but overall, as seasons go, that was very good work. And we have now set the 19 games unbeaten record, which is brilliant news. Levenberg's now made it into our starting lineup, along with Patty and several other players, as always happens at this stage of the save. I would like to get Velapai back. He is probably a bit beyond our team now. But next time we are expected to reach the top half and reach the cup final of the Confederation Cup. That's a bit of a surprise to me, but does give me a bit of confidence. Perhaps our squad's better than many of the squads in that competition, so that's great news, and I would love to win it because there's a lot of money in it. If we have a quick look at the rules, each round you get some money, I believe, or maybe it's I see. So it's once you've got to the group stage or beyond. It's a bit of a weird structure. You've got qualifying rounds, first round, second round, then a group stage, and then you've got quarterfinal, semi-final, and final. And you start to get some decent money when you get through here. If you lose the final, 485k. If you win it, 970k. So that will be our aim next season, to try and win that. I'll accept that current vision. Still have no team leaders, but I'd say Narodian might become one next season, along with Mukamela and maybe Mostalaga. Discussing the plans for next season, let's see, where is mid-table? Or is it top half? Yeah, brilliant. And I'll also be aiming to reach the final, so it's a good thing that they're all on board with that. Clearly they think they're good enough. And everyone is happy, which is brilliant news. We're now going on to a pre-season break, which is a good rest for the players and gives us a chance to assess our squad in time for next season. We've got some not brilliant news. We've got pretty much the same budget for next season, but that does make sense because we've got not very much in our terms of finances. We're still not doing too well, but we should be able to get more money to play with based on the players that are leaving. In further news, our facilities are worse than they were, which is a real shame. Let's have a look at what they are now. I think they're probably 4-star. Yeah, they're 4-star now, whereas they were 4.5. But we're still far beyond most of the South African teams, and you'd be happy with these sorts of facilities at most clubs in the world. So that's really good news that we're not completely collapsed. It seems I'm the only person that's in favoured personnel, legends or icons. I guess that's because, according to this, the club was established in 2020. I believe it was actually established in 1970 as Ajax Cape Town in real life. But this is just what FM does for this particular team. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed. I've really enjoyed particularly this season of The Save, and I can't wait to get into some of the continental competitions from next season. I hope you've enjoyed, and I hope to see you next time. Have a great day.